Thank you for clicking on the video. I want to break down East 1, the first track of the game. It's composed by Yuzo Koshiro. This one's called Feena, and this is the PC-88 version, which it was originally made on, and I like it. It's a beautiful piece. It's 3 sections. I'm going to call the first part the prayer, the second part the mystery, third part the hopeful. Reason is those are kind of the feelings I get that's being evoked in the music. Now, the melody. I'm going to show the melody, the chords, and a little bit of music theory. Here we go. First part. Okay. First couple bars. We're starting on B. We're going down. B, A, G sharp, F sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E. And if kind of figuring out what this melody is based off of, the scale or mode, this is B mixolydian. So if we think of E major, we got E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, and then we got D sharp, E. The 5th note, if we take those same notes, B, C sharp, we got B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, and then A, B. So it's actually the same. It's the same as the major scale except for the last note. That's the major scale. So you lower the 7th note a half step, or just 1 fret away. So this one. Now the chords underneath, we got a C sharp minor, which is C and E, C sharp minor 3rd, but together that makes a C sharp minor 7. So the 7th note in C, C sharp minor, would be B. Not BB, not BB King. Maybe BB King helped him out, I don't know, that would be interesting. And then the second chord is C6. So if we're doing C major, that'd be C, E, and G. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. So 1, skip 2, 3, 1, 3, 5, but it's C6. And then it goes down 4 notes. Yeah. So C6, C augmented, C augmented. Augmented is basically take 1, 3, 5. That's your major triad. 1, 3 sharp 5. So raise that a 5th. This is a weird chord. It's not really like typical, but it's pretty. That goes like 1, 3, sharp 4, or flat 5. I don't know. But it kind of reminds me of this. reminds me of the Song of Healing. I don't know. So kind of mystical, you know, so it kind of adds to the mystical. I mean, it's just a chord. All right, second part of the first part. So what we got here is a B suspended fourth chord. And then B major. On the PC-88, it can only do so many notes. So we got kind of this B and then E playing at the same time. And then D sharp. And then C sharp. But if you think about it, it's like, okay, sus4, major, sus2, it's kind of implied. I gotta use my thumb in order to get those chords. Anyway, yeah. So, also, I forgot to mention, the second time through that first melody, there's like a little high E being played. Kind of just ringing up top. Kind of... and it's just ringing up top there. So notice that. So, you could think this might be an E major. But C, it doesn't really fit E major. C sharp does. C sharp minor is the sixth chord of that scale. So it's changing, setting up something. So, I mean, it would be interesting to just go to E major. You know, you could do that, but Yuzo Koshiro is not your average composer. He's doing a very skillful parallel key change right here. So if we're in E major, it's just setting up E minor. Very powerful. So let's hear it. Let's hear those B sus chords moving into it. Okay, so the chords underneath, we got E minor, and then it goes to, it's like, to F sus too, and this melody on top, which I think is very recognizable. You hear this in the little brand logo, and you hear it all throughout, you know, like Chronicles Plus, and like you hear this melody on, like, you know, was it the silver harmonica in the game? So this is F sharp, E, F sharp, B, F sharp. Which, this outlines an E sus2 chord. So we're in E minor. And I think it goes to like F Lydian or something like that. Just for a second, which is interesting. You know, I think that's an interesting way of changing, you know, keys or changing the scale you're using. So yeah, the second time through. Okay. It's ending on that E sus2, which was outlined in the first motif on this second section here. I'm calling the mystery. I'm gonna coin that. The first part was the prayer. The reason, you know, I call it that is because the sus2, sus4 chords, that B minor or B major sus, you know, we got sus4 major, sus2. Sounds like very like a church hymn. And basically what that function is, it delays the resolution. It's also setting up the big key change. It's making it a big moment. Hey, you know, I want something big to build up here. And so the most amount of impact you can do is delay it. You know, all great music, you know, they set up this big crescendo. And it does, and there's a big drop that happens in that second section. Kind of going out of order here. This is a little bit off the cuff. All right. Let me clap and reset. Okay, so the second part of the motif. It changes just the second part of it. You know, you want to repeat an idea to make it memorable. And then the ending changes. Instead of going up, it goes down. So we're in E minor. We're still in E minor. He's playing around with E minor. Almost like minor pentatonic. No. Anyway. All right, the third part. sus2. Okay, so the second part, we got F major 7. So if you take a normal F major, F, A, C, 1, 3, 5, do, mi, so, do, re, mi, fa, so. If we're skipping those notes, and then we have the 7th note, which is E. A major 7, you just take and then just go down a half step. Maybe when you first started learning, you know, if you play guitar, maybe you forgot to bar that little finger here and did that chord, and it's like, oh, that sounds nice. That's the F major 7. A little bit different than, kind of mellows it out a little bit. I kind of messed that up, but this next chord, it's a E minor 7. we're starting on E, G, B, and D. So a minor 7 chord. So we got an E minor triad, which major would be. So minor would be where you lower the 3rd note. And when I say 3rd note, I mean, think of the E minor scale and yeah, skip a note. So we're taking E and G rather than G sharp. Okay. Now the 7, E minor 7, this, you know, if this was E major, we would have D sharp, but this is, or yeah, just D, D natural. D natural, B, G, E. All right, now the melody for the F major 7, it's basically so we got E, E, D, E, E, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, D, E, A, B, C, E, D, C, D, G, A, B, C, D, C, D. Okay? We got like those 5 notes of those, kind of switching back and forth. And then there's like a higher arpeggio going on in between those. We got a B, G, E, going back up to G, E, D. Na, 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 na. And then we have this kind of G, A, B, C, D, B, G, D, which is kind of like almost like outlining G, but it's ending on this E minor. So it ends on like a E minor 7. Let's hear that. I just want to hear that one more time. It's E minor 7. That A minor line. G major. So, a lot of people have covered this. There's also been different arrangements that have been released for games. And I've covered this on electric guitar. And part of my inspiration was Steve Vai for The Love of God. The reason is, you know, those songs, like in the middle section, in that mystery section where it's going from E minor to F sus2, very similar to the chords in For the Love of God. Let's listen. So you could play, I mean, there's different chord progression there, but For the Love of God is E minor 9, which nines are, okay, so if there's 8 notes for a scale to repeat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, those are both E. A 9 is F sharp. The 9 of E is F sharp. And so you have this kind of mystical, you got that sound, which is similar, very similar. This, it's kind of this like F major 7, sharp 11. Which, yeah, I don't know. Huh. Yeah, so anyway, you know, the Song of Healing has nothing to do with this, but I mean, there's that kind of, kind of that weird chord thrown in there. Anyway, that has nothing to do with it. That's kind of a tangent. I don't know, these are kind of mystical songs. The chords of deities, the chords of goddesses. Feena is about the goddess of East. And so, what are the emotions that we feel from this? Personally, I feel like there's a reverence to this song. It's almost like a lullaby. There's a mystery to it. There's a hopefulness to it. It's a soft song. Then it has, you know, kind of this sort of piercing, almost cry. It's almost like a petition to the goddesses, you know, to find them. Isn't Feena she has amnesia in the game. It's almost like a confusion. Sus chords, they kind of evoke this confusion going between those minor and sus chords. There's that big dramatic shift in the melody, you know, where it's sort of descending, and, you know, there's this big instead of just staying in E, which would be weird, but just want to. That would just be weird, you know, but it's. The arrangements, you know, I hear chromatic ascensions, you know, I hear chromatic approaches being taken. These kinds of liberties, it's a very expressive song. I want you to kind of think about how you can melodically approach the song, you know. Think of the 9s and like those sharp 11s, you know. I mean, maybe if you're not even thinking about that, but those, you know, if you're playing a harmony, if you're trying to find some way of like approaching this tune differently, you know, those kinds of notes give you that sort of sense of uncertainty, a little bit of uneasiness, something broken, something lost, something, you know, there's an amnesia quality to it. I like the Yukihiro Jindo arrangement on Chronicles Plus. He does does an E minor 9 chord. That's very nice. You know, there's a lot of great arrangements of this tune. I've gone on a little bit long about this tune. I think it's a brilliant example of how sophisticated early video game music even was in the late 80s. You know, you'd kind of roll the dice with a game or, you know, an RPG you would get. You know, it's amazing that there was such sophisticated music even back then. And plus the limitations, you know, programming with MML, the music macro language that Yuzo Koshiro did, like that was insane. Like, you know, just this kind of you know, it's a virtual score, and it's just this very different way of, you know, making music play and evoking these kinds of feelings. I think it's incredible that, you know, this song, for me, it speaks, you know, you don't need to understand the same language. It evokes the emotions. That's what the great thing about music is. That's what the great thing about the storytelling behind this song. And if you think about the context of the tune, it's no longer just a pretty song. You know, there's a meaning to it. There's, you know, a very strong expression going on here. So I wanted to cover a little bit of what's going on in this song, a little bit of what I've kind of learned about this. And this isn't even a full musical, you know, deep dive or anything. So I might have gotten some things a little bit inaccurate, but maybe it'll give you ideas of how to compose something that, you know, brings power or something. So that'll be all. I just want to leave that there. So thank you for watching. If you did, stick around and watch the rest of this. If you want to hear more, I'm interested in breaking down more tracks from this game. And if there's other tracks you want to hear, I'd like to, you know, hear what you think. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.